Hello from the Paris France zone. Just came off from watching England Fiji on the TV. Unbelievable game. Felt very outnumbered in the fan zone, but that's to be expected. No one really likes England, and I don't particularly like England either. But today they played very, very well. It's a very cliche phrase to say, but it's a game of two halves. England in the first half looked dominant, they had the ball in hand, and with the selection of Marcus Smith, I was always hoping that that's what they were going to do. They look good. In defence, Courtney Laws was over the ball constantly. The second rows were also over the ball constantly. And yeah, I just thought that England had a very dominant first half. I think they looked the best that they have probably all tournament. Maybe the exception is Argentina, but even then in an attack they look good. And I think on top of it, it kind of really not facilitates, but confirms in my mind that the difference between Ford and Farrell at fly half is really minimal. I think the real difference is when you have them at 10 and 12 on the same pitch. That's when they don't play well. Farrell had a fantastic game, kicking from for the post, as well as also his general fly half play in general. He was very, very good. Defensively, he was great. And then, the second half happens. Fiji get back into the game with their classic offload game. I don't think England switched off by any stretch of the imagination, but I would say that they allowed Fiji to play with the ball in hand, and it just ended up in them ultimately allowing Fiji to get back in the game with the offloads and the tries that they scored. I don't want to take anything away from Fiji. I thought they played fantastically to get back in the game and make it equal, and it was very tense leading up to the end of the game. I hate to say this, but I think the main thing to say for me really in this game is Matthew Reynard is just bad as a referee. There was no consistency in any of his calls. There was many occasions I thought Fiji should have been given a penalty, should have been given a scrum, should have been given this and that. And the same for England. It's not so much the wrong decisions, but a lack of consistency. For example, there was an obstruction by Fiji that he called, and I thought fully right to call the obstruction against Fiji. Later on, Fiji obstruct, and he doesn't give the penalty. And there was just no consistency in his calls whatsoever, and I just do not rate him as a referee whatsoever. But, make your own opinions on him. I personally, he's not made for a World Cup quarterfinal in my eyes, and I think it made a real shame to the difference in the game. Another example of this is that Fiji's scrum, I thought, was completely dominant against England's. England's scrum was not great, and they got dominated, and Fiji were never rewarded a penalty. Constantly, Reynard was saying, use the ball or get it out, and if they couldn't get the ball out, the reality of what he said is like, right, we're going to reset the scrum. We're going to do a new scrum, and that's bad. Like, Fiji should be awarded for set piece, especially because you would expect England to win the set piece in the scrum, but they didn't, and Fiji constantly won it, and they weren't awarded for it, so it's a shame. I think Semi Radradra being played on the wing was confusing. The few times that he actually attacked through the centre, I think, made a huge difference for Fiji's attack. He managed to create offloads and create space in the middle of the field from like the 3 occasions he did it, and it created a gain line success from that. And yeah, I wouldn't say England were lucky to win. I think they played very well, some of the best rugby they've played, but Fiji will feel hard done by the referee's decisions, and yeah, it's a shame. At the end of the day, I'm an England fan, obviously wearing an England shirt, but Fiji will feel hard done by the decisions made against them, and yeah, I think that's it. I've not got much more to say. I mean, in reality, we're just gonna watch this game and England win, and in reality they're going to lose next weekend anyway, so what does it really mean? I don't know a whole lot. I'm just going to have a quick look through my notes here. I think, as I said, Farrell played fantastically, as I thought he should be the starting 10 for this game. I think Ford probably would have been bullied if he was on the pitch, and